So there was a story I forgot to talk about last week about Greece, and I can't believe it. I had so much stuff happened in Greece that I forgot. So when we were in Mykonos, the Weiner brothers, the Wild Boys, they were telling me they met this guy in Croatia, and they was like, he said he was a doctor. You already know where this story's going. I said he was a doctor, and said he knew people. He was tapped in socially and everything. So the first night we got to Mykonos. We went to this place called Namos. It's a wonderful restaurant, but it's more like a party scene. It's around the beach. And he came, and I'm watching him. You know, I'm looking at him. He's a doctor. And then he was like, he got here right when we was done eating, but that mug was killing the food. The leftovers, basically. We were done eating, so we had like steak, fish, vegetables, everything else. He was like, you want anything? Normally when people show up late like that, they might try something, but 9 times out of 10, people don't really eat like that. If they're meat, he basically met us we were going to Scorpios, another club after we ate. So we sat down I'm making this up, we sat down at 6. He got there at like 8. And I was like, we were getting ready to get up, but we still had food on the table. He was taking the food and killing it. And I was like, man, to be a doctor? He ain't ate yet? And then he was, whatever. Went out that night with him. I'm watching him. And I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm trusting my guys, and I'm seeing this guy is super aggressive with women. It's like he'll grab one, and then if she's not feeling him, he'll grab another one. He had no shame in his game. It's like, look, somebody gonna say yes. And I'm watching him move the room. Then I told you after Scorpios, I went back to my hotel, and then they called me like, we're going to a hip-hop spot. We go to the hip-hop spot. I see the guy again. He's being super aggressive again. I'm talking about when a woman walks in, he's on them. And I was like, that's weird behavior for a doctor. Because I'm thinking if you're a doctor, you're used to people coming to you. Doctors sit in offices and patients come to them. So to see him just be aggressive everywhere we went the first night, I go, man, that's the most aggressive doctor I've ever met in my life. Next night, told you we went to this place called Leo's. It's like a Vegas show. Super gay guys in it there's women, but there's guys, and they were super gay. And then again, he shows up late. We're gonna go to a club after Leo's, and he's like supposed to take us out again, show us around a little bit. Again, he starts eating. We're done. The food's just on the table. He got there like that night. We got there about 10, and we ate till 12. So he got there about 11:30. And again, we was like, you want anything to eat? He starts grabbing the rest of the food again. I'm like, hey, this guy don't eat? It was so odd to me. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal. It was odd to me being a doctor. And then I saw him start working the room. He saw a woman. He's going after her again. And he really started talking to this one girl. And I'm kind of looking, and I still have no reason to say he's not a doctor. And I'm telling you all the other stuff because this is where the shit hits the fan right now. He goes to my buddy Mark, and he's like, one of the Weiner brothers. He goes, hey, I bought a bottle for this girl. Can you spot me $400? My credit card's not working because of the power outage. And I was like, I guess there was a power outage in the States, like flights was shut down and things like that. Now we're in Greece. It's not really affecting us because we're not flying anywhere. And we were like, I remember Mark was like, what? And I thought I heard him because Mark's here. I'm on one side of Mark. He came on the other side of it. So I thought I heard him say what I thought he said. I go, wait a minute. And then Mark was like, nah, I ain't doing that. He goes, you ain't got another credit card? And then he goes, it's the power outage today. He goes, I can Zelle you or something. And Mark's like, well, Zelle it to me. And then I'll give you my credit card to charge the $400. And then he was like, yeah, I got to do that. He came up with some excuse. And then Mark just kind of said, no, he's not doing it. Then he went to, Mark's got another friend of his from Baltimore that just happened to be in Greece with us. He goes to him. Hey, can you spot me $400? My credit card's not working, the power outage. And we're like, and now Mark's buddy Ryan, he's like, nah, I'm not spotting you. I don't know you. So now he's talking to the waiter. And the waiter just kind of sitting there. And he looked at me, and I just kind of went, don't come here. I don't even know your name, bro. And then all of a sudden, he's just sitting there looking like, what are we going to do? And the motherfucker just disappeared. Like, we stayed for another 45 minutes. I was like, where'd your boy go? We thought he was in the back doing dishes or something. But when I say the dude just disappeared, I was like, oh, looks like we was messing with a scammer in Greece. And then he didn't reach out the next 2 days. We were in Mykonos. We never heard from him again. That's when I looked at the wire and I said, yo, that dude was a scammer. And that's when it was like what was that, The Usual Suspects? When Kevin Spacey, they realized who Kaiser Sosa was. Now, all the shit I just told you, now the shit's replaying in my brain. Now I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That's when I said, doctors, they come to you. I said, we were at the first restaurant, Namos. He was killing his food like he hasn't eaten. Then I said, Scorpios. He didn't pay for no drinks. We had winers was like it was like their last week on earth. They partying, buying bottles and stuff. He's drinking, passing drinks out to girls and stuff. I'm like, I thought he was with the crew, so I wasn't tripping. I wasn't looking. Plus, I'm not paying for the bottles that night, so I was like, I'm not tripping. And then I noticed the next night when he showed up to eat at the restaurant, not to eat, he started killing all the leftovers again. I go, wait a minute. And then when he asked for the 400, I was like, oh, the power outage. And I was thinking, you got one credit card, bro? That's it? You a doctor with one credit card. That's it. You with one bank. I always tell people you better have 2 different banks for shit like that. You ain't got to keep a lot of money in it. Make sure you got 2 bank accounts just for shit like this. And then I was like, you ain't got cash. You ain't got no Zelle, Venmo, Cash App. You got nothing that you can send somebody the money right now. I was like, I think that dude's probably just in Mykonos for the 3 months, and he's probably scamming people all the time. When I say vanished, motherfucker vanished. And now the winer's like, damn. I was like, where'd you meet him? They said, we met him in Croatia a couple years ago. He seemed to be tapped in and cool, and I guess he did hook him up with a couple, promoters and the right people for concierge services in Mykonos. But, yeah, because scammers usually know where shit's at. So, yeah, so shouts out to you, buddy. I hope you hope you spent that $400. We talked about him the rest of the trip. We was like, man, we was with a scammer and didn't even know it.